Business, business, business. Hello, gentlemen.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys tonight?
Pretty good. Been a crazy, crazy day. Serenity Shield has a lot going on, and yeah, it's just been super nuts with partnerships, calls, all that.
I've done literally. I have not been off of video calls and AMAs since 1 o'clock today. It's been absolutely crazy as well. So I'm right there with you, man. I'm glad you guys took some time to be able to come on.
Hey, Mike. Thanks for having us.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Nikos. How you doing today?
I'm very well. Like Justin said, I've had a very long day, but it's there's no rest for the wicked, and we're in the fast-paced environment of the crypto space. So it's what goes with the territory. I'm very glad to be.
Is it probably close to midnight where you are?
It is 11 p.m. and I have been on the laptop since probably 8:30 a.m. I'm not joking. I haven't moved. Do you know? I made the mistake of taking 3 days out. I took a couple of days to go and enjoy the good weather we had here, and I'm paying the price now.
Are you in Scotland?
Acts like oh yeah.
I am in Scotland. Yes.
I'm getting better with my accents.
You got it in one. Well done.
Well, yeah, I'm friends with John with Green Life Energy, and he's got the heavy Scottish accent too. I don't know if you know John Wood at all.
No, you should hook us up. I'd love to get talking to him. That would be awesome.
Oh man, he's a great guy. Every other word out of his mouth, F this and F that. We play a drinking game. Every time he drops the F bomb, you take a drink. You'll be dead in 5 minutes. We love you, John.
Wow.
That is our choice word. Just I try and keep it clean when I'm in unfamiliar spaces. But maybe when we get to know each other a little bit better, Mike, it'll be Dirty Nikos and Dirty Mike.
Well, this is yeah, exactly. This is Dirty Mike Crypto. You don't have to censor anything for us, but I obviously know you want to stay professional as well too.
Absolutely.
We'll give a few minutes for everybody to come in. It's kind of a weird time right now with dinner time and all, but I am live streaming this, and I will actually share the link with you for your group as well. Justin, I'm going to send it over to you right now.
Oh, perfect. Thanks. Mike, how long have you been doing the AMAs and stuff?
Believe it or not, I made my first YouTube video about 2.5 months ago on a token I invested in, and nobody had made any videos on it. I said, you know what, for shits and giggles, I'll make a video. And it got kind of popular, and then everybody was like, when's your next video coming out? I was like, this is just a one-time thing. And so they convinced me to make another and another, and now 3 months later, I've made like 120 videos. I've interviewed about 20 CEOs from companies, and it's just all really just happened very fast, honestly.
Wow. So you're basically doing this every single day.
Every day. Yeah, I mean,
Awesome.
I own a freight agency as my full time job. So I was lucky enough to work from home anyway. But yeah, it's really exploded to where I got to have my wife help me out now with the freight and everything, and it's just a full time job doing this now around the clock. Did I lose you guys there for a second?
Well, still here, still here.
Okay. Yeah, so
Sorry.
it's been crazy. Do you guys have full time jobs as well, other than this, or is this your full time gig at this point?
No, I'm fully full-time employed myself in the commercial property environment. I've been doing
Okay,
that for a long, long time, and I also play in a wedding band. I'm a part-time musician as well, so I'm a very, very active and busy individual.
that's
So
awesome. What instrument do you play? I was in a cover band for like 7 or 8 years. I play guitar and piano and stuff. So
I play the guitar and I'm the singer in the band as well. So I'm the front man, but
that's
I
awesome.
do dabble. Like yourself, dabbled with a little bit of keys and things like that as well. So
That's great. What's your band name?
the Plectrums, it's a cover band.
Yeah, that's what we were, a cover band too. We used to play a lot of classic rock music.
Yeah, with it, well, believe it or not, the wedding industry in Scotland is big business. There's weddings happening all over the country every single week, all of the year. So it's a really good environment to get into,
It is.
rather than just doing the old pub circuit and the
Yes,
bars.
it
Just
is. You
does
don't
not
make
pay
any
the same
money
way.
with the pub circuit. My
Exactly.
brother's a DJ, and he stopped doing the pubs and started doing mostly weddings, and he's been doing good with it too. So yeah, you're exactly right with that.
And being in Scotland as well, look, it's a great place to drive around the country and all these castles and cool hotels, and it's actually a really rewarding experience. So it's a good thing, and look, it's part time for me as well, so I get to enjoy it, and I can step away from it because music can become a little bit consuming at times.
Oh yeah,
So I moved from one consuming industry over to the crypto space. It's even more consuming.
You're
man,
addicted to it, man.
you are
I
addicted
truly
to
am.
it. Awesome. Well, people will trickle in as we go, and like I said, I'm gonna record this and not only post it to YouTube, but also into my group. So everybody usually goes back and watches them. So I have people from all over the world in the group, and also people, even if there aren't a lot of people on the call or anything, we'll still get this to a lot of people tonight for sure, though.
Yeah, that's
That's
no
great.
worries. Yeah, we're just happy to be here and be have you host us and allow us to talk shop
Of course.
with our project.
Well, let's get started then with it, and people trickle in as they go. And you post a link in your room as well.
Yeah, I posted out the YouTube link. I was wondering if I could get the Telegram one too, but I don't know. I can't find it on here.
Yeah,
For, invite.
this is a private group, so you have to.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah, it's a private, but everybody will definitely be getting to see it for sure. I'll be posting it over the next few days for sure, and I'll have it pinned up in the messages. So we might as well get started. If you guys want to introduce yourself and your backgrounds, and start going about your project, I'll interject with some questions as we go on. But this is definitely your floor to definitely explain your project.
All right, cool. I guess I'll kick it off. My name's Justin. I joined the crypto space on the social media side back in October, but I've been around cryptocurrency since 2017. I was really, really eager to find, across basically 5 years, so you can see how hard that was, but really looking for a project to throw myself into fully. Serenity Shield came along, and I was happy to be given the opportunity to join the team and, to be a part of a project that's creating solution for a problem that every single person holding crypto right now faces is a really humbling, cool experience. And, to be up to that challenge is, it gets me out of bed every morning. So it's really fun.
That's awesome. How about you, Nikos?
Hi, Mike. So I've been in the trading space for quite a long time now. If you take it back as when I first started, which was probably around 2010, 2011,
Wow.
when I got into the forex space actually initially. As the years progressed, I moved away from it for a while, came back to it and got into stock trading, and then got into cryptocurrency around about 2017. Like a lot of people, it was a baptism of fire. I got lucky on a couple of trades, and I learned the hard way with others. And from there, managed to create a couple of my own Discord servers, and from that, harvested a really, really wide array of talents and people from all various backgrounds and networks. And along the way, that's where I met some of the people as part of the Serenity Shield team. My personal background is in commercial property management, so I do have some really, really transferable project management skills that have really helped me with the communication side that I operate on with for Serenity Shield. And the concept that we'll talk about as we move on in the next few minutes was born out of that network that I've managed to build over the last, particularly 2 years, I would say. And through the various Discord servers that I held at the time, there's still one of them I hold like yourself, a private small group,
right?
But because of other things that I'm involved with and endeavors now in the crypto space, I really just don't have the time, unfortunately, to dedicate that I used to. So I've moved away from the sort of technical analysis and trading side that I used to do, and I'm now focused more on fundamental development of projects. And I've got kind of relevant experiences, community moderator for some smaller projects, and then moving over to another project within the smart chain space, actually, which was an opportunity to allow me to take their head of platform role recently. So that was great experience as well. So I've been building up knowledge for a long time, as you can see.
I like your website too. I have your website up in the background for everybody to look at too. I like that flower that's unfolding. Who designed that for you guys?
So that was actually a piece of work that was outsourced to a designer in France. However, I'm going to tell you something very interesting. Just before I come on this call tonight, I've been working closely with another designer. We're actually rebuilding our website, which will be live probably within the next 10 days or so. So the web design that you see, and many people have sung our praises and given us a lot of great feedback for the website, just to let people know that we're actually in the process of making upgrades and changes already, because you know what it's like in the crypto space, very dynamic, and we want to be fast moving. So we are going through a bit of a rebrand before we get really underway with Serenity Shield. So watch this space, and we'll keep you guys informed for when the new website goes live.
That sounds pretty good. Now, I know a little bit about your project just from, reading stuff over and everything, but I like to always kind of do it, just assume I know nothing and, everybody who's listening knows nothing. Why don't you let us know about Serenity Shield, what it's all about, and, everything you can about it. The floor is yours.
I'll let Justin, do you want to go just?
Yeah.
We'll alternate for the voices. I'm thinking it's always nice to alternate voices, so I'll let you go next.
All right, cool. So to kick things off, basically, 10,000 feet view of what Serenity Shield is we've created a blockchain solution to a blockchain problem. Everybody here that trades crypto or has digital assets, NFTs, any kind, even 2FA passwords or 256 character long passwords, any of the stuff that you would write down and squirrel away into your wall and create a treasure map for your loved one to find in the event that you die. We have created what's called a strong box that allows you to store that information on the secret network blockchain through a protocol that actually shards your information into 3 parts, and it gives you 3 keys to the strong box, so that if you, in the event that you might die or anything at all, that either that or like you accidentally threw away your wallet or your seed phrases or anything, you could then go back to the strong box and regain access to your digital assets.
Yeah, that's really helpful because we've all been there, and you read stories all the time about people who had Bitcoin back in like 2010 or 2011, and they're looking for their old computer with 500 Bitcoin on them in garbages, and
Oh my God.
can't
Yeah,
get
I
in.
know.
You hear that all the time.
Can you imagine? And so the biggest thing is it was in 2022. I mean, sorry, in 2020, it was a $7.5 billion problem where people were either losing access to their wallets because of seed phrase issues like that, or a hard drive that got erased, or they didn't have a backup, or they threw them away if it was a paper wallet. But it's increased to $14 billion last year.
Oh my God.
So essentially, Serenity Shield is attempting to bring an end to that through our product, the Strongbox, and products and services we continue to scale and bring to market at, as the company grows. But essentially, we're looking to tackle a $14 billion problem that right now the 3 of us or 4 of us in this call could all benefit from this product. Like I myself to launch, so I can put everything in my little black book into a Strongbox and sleep easier to be. Hey, Mike.
Sorry, I cut out for a.
Oh. Hey, Mike, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you. I cut out for a half a second there. So let me ask you real quick. Now you said your passwords or your keys go into 3 different directions, and you have your keys to the Strongbox. What would happen in the case that you would lose your key into the Strongbox?
In terms of you, oh, sorry, Nikos. Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. I mean, if you want to elaborate, but let me just kind of give a little bit of background as to some of the technical processes that will be in place there. So, as you rightly pick up on, one thing that we like to be very clear about is that at no point along the way will Serenity Shield be holding any of our clients' information, assets. We will not store or get access to those crypto assets. What we provide is a portal or a doorway to the secret network on the where our Strongbox will be stored on that blockchain. In the event that someone was to lose the password, because what you're kind of essentially asking there, Mike, is that if they were storing all of their other passwords within that Strongbox,
right,
then what they really need is one password to get back to the Strongbox. So the solution that we're using is we're using Web3 Authenticator, which is the old Taurus wallet, which actually provides alternative methods out with the seed phrase to access that information, that NFT, because that's what you're really asking there. It's that NFT. How do they get back to the NFT? So the NFT would be stored in a wallet. You're absolutely correct. And what they would require is access through the Web3 Authenticator. And that provides a whole series in different ways of authenticating your identity to then get back that wallet so that you can never be locked out of your NFT wallet.
Great. That's it's amazing, and that is a huge problem that you guys are attempting to tackle. So where are you at in your process right now as far as your launch goes and pre-sale and everything?
So private sale round 1 is beginning in April 15th, 2022. And that is going to have a $600,000 cap. That's a $900 minimum for anybody that wants to participate per wallet, but there's no maximum per wallet. That's a search token price of 12 cents. We're going to then have another private round that comes in May 15th. There's a $450 minimum to that buy-in per wallet, but no max. And it's the same. Actually, it's not the same price. It's 15 cents per search token in that. And then we have a public ICO in June I think it's going to probably be the June 15th, but we haven't really gone so far out to that. But the idea would be, no limit on no minimum and no limit on what you can buy, and just open at 20 cents per search token.
Okay, that's pretty good. And where does that leave you as far as like an approximate date for launch time?
Well, at the moment, what we're looking at, as Justin touched upon, we've got the rounds initially in the private sale. Then we're looking at ICO in June. So we're hopefully on target at the moment for a June launch, for a full launch and going public in June. And at the moment, I think we're very confident that we will hit that target and we will be meeting that deadline. So you should see a fully launched Search token on the Solana network with only, what are we talking now, 2 or 3 months to go to the summer.
Yep, and it's important to note we're already on CMC. So
really?
Know when CMC. Yep, CMC
Yes.
now. We're already listed on CMC. Yeah.
How'd you get on that so quick?
We can't share our secrets. I'm afraid.
All right.
Mostly a lot of hard work, to be honest. Yeah, just that's it.
It's awesome. I'm looking at I have up on the screen right now for anybody curious, your roadmap. If you could explain some of the things that, kind of after launch that you guys, have planned in addition to, that main utility that you were talking about. What are some other things that you guys have going on with your roadmap in the next, 6 to 8 months?
And Nikos, you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure, Justin. Sorry, I was just trying to find the unmute button there.
No, that's okay.
Telegram is usually very difficult. So, Mike, as you can imagine, some of this stuff it's in the pipeline at the moment. It means there's a lot of confidential conversations that we're having in the background at the moment. Some of the more obvious ones are things that we're looking to work towards are that Q2 CEX listing. We are in talks with several well-known exchanges, top 25 exchanges that would be something that we would like to make sure that we target very early, because there's obviously things that have to be rolled out for that to happen on time. But I guess the bigger thing that really we want to focus on is to make people aware of the fact that this is a long-term project that separates itself in the sense that what we're really doing is offering a product and a utility that will be generating revenue. And that is one of the things that's going to stand us out straight away from day one, is our ability to have a product in place that can generate a business case and a business model that allows us to reinvest into the brand and into the product and strike new partnerships and continuously develop. We want to be champions within the security space. We're very, very confident with the development team that we will be rolling out. We have new members of the team that are joining all the time. We will be unveiling some new development members that are coming into the team from pretty well-established projects already, some of them. And again, for confidentiality reasons, not something we can divulge at the moment, especially at the early stages. But yeah, rest assured, without saying too much at this very, very infant stage of the project, that we are working towards some big announcements that would see Serenity rubbing shoulders with some of the bigger players in the security space. So it's certainly something that we're very proud of at this very early stage, and it's a testament to how serious we're taking this project and how far we believe we can take the product within the wider security and insurance markets.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Now, for somebody who's kind of new to the security side of cryptocurrency, is it a very big sector? Do you guys have many direct competitors, or are you guys one of the early pioneers in this sector?
There are a couple of people doing, or a couple of projects that are doing something similar, but nobody that I know of that is actually focusing directly on securing access to the digital assets as the main focus.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Because we do believe in launching with one product that does one thing very, very well. Because as Nico said just a moment ago, we are hyper-focused on creating revenue streams as a true traditional business would, that we don't want to be reliant on people buying the token to generate the funding that we can get to build out our product. Because as you know, in bear markets, if there's not a lot of people buying a token, which we see every day, a lot of people dumping tokens because of fear, you've already handicapped your business by tying it to a mechanism that can sink you overnight.
Yeah, it's like the reflection token. Like there are a lot of the reflection tokens that are out right now. Once you kind of get past that initial hype of it, and no utilities have really come out yet, that's when they kind of run into problems and, people start selling off and it cripples the project.
Well, yeah, and the problem really at the basis of that is, I mean, from running a traditional business, if you're spending all your cash flow every month to be at a break-even point, you're actually not treading water. You're trending toward failure. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? Like you have, yeah. So that's actually, I think, a real big USP for the Serenity Shield team is we have such a multidisciplinary group of team members, staff, and advisors that come together that have a lot of experience in the traditional business sectors, so that when we put our products together, like our products and services, everything's being built with synergy toward the success of the project based on each individual piece of the project supporting what's already in our ecosystem, and then providing basically almost like Lego block connectors for what's to come. And as Nico said, we wish we could share everything with you right now, but
I know
things
you guys are
just
still early.
yeah, it's too early. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the main focus.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. Sorry.
No,
Mike,
go ahead. Please go ahead.
Just very briefly to elaborate on what Justin was saying there. I think it's very important to really emphasize the synergy between the token and the product, the Strongbox that we are creating, because whilst many other projects launch their token, it's based on the promise of utility coming later.
Right.
They have a roadmap in mind where the utility is coming down the line. I would like to just kind of obviously emphasize we do hope to have a beta version of our DApp live at launch. I mean, we're really, really actively pressing on at the moment behind the scenes with that DApp, and that should hopefully be ready for launch time. But the token will be is a really necessary part of the whole Serenity Shield ecosystem, insofar that anyone that utilizes the Strongbox or requires access back to the Strongbox will have to hold a small value of search or an equivalent in terms of a dollar value in Serenity Shield's native token to activate the box to recover their asset or their sensitive information. And that's where people on both sides of the project can really benefit. Being a revenue-based model, it gives us longevity in the space and something that we can work towards in terms of a target from a business standpoint. But it also then gives investors or contributors to the token something to hold and something to look forward to in the future, being a deflationary model that we put in place here from day one, because those tokens that are utilized to activate the recovery or the retrieval of that sensitive information, a percentage of those tokens are then burned as a consequence of that process. So it is an altruistic and kind of all-encompassing ecosystem. So we're very excited about where that's going to go, and I think when people grasp that model, they'll be very excited about it also.
That's awesome.
And just also to jump on that, and I'm sorry, I'm just getting excited now. Nico says that to me.
Do it. Let's hear it. That's what you're here for.
So because the way the Strongbox work with the sharded NFT, we actually have an NFT that's a true non-fungible token. Like there's no aftermarket. You can't trade it. It's literally like you wouldn't want to trade it because it's a 2/3 part of the key that you need to either re-access your funds at a later date or to pass that on to an heir. So another thing that we actually work on in terms, it's not just all in like, oh, you might die and someone has to get your access to your crypto later. That is definitely part of it. But there's also an offshoot of like end of life planning, right? So I don't know, it could happen to anybody. Let's use me, for example. I have a lot of X, Y, and Z token and there's a lot of value in it, but I come down with cancer. What am I going to do? You know what I mean? Like I have cancer and I'm in treatment and now I've passed away maybe before I was supposed to, unexpectedly or whatever. I am not going to want to go to an attorney or traditional avenues for wills to try to set up and have these institutions understand anything about blockchain and the trust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's
no
crazy.
way. Yeah, I'm going to go to the traditional finance space and tell them about all this Bitcoin that I have, and they're going to give it to my wife. No. So what Serenity Shield allows you to do is to be an actual steward and custodian of your own assets, right? We're in the DeFi space because we want to build our own wealth, and we want to be able to hopefully pass that on as a generational legacy. We don't need anybody to get into the way of that as long as we have a solution like the Strongbox and what Serenity Shield can offer. So that is also something that I really wanted to bring up, that it's not an NFT for NFT's sake. It's an NFT that allows you to pass on financial legacy to your loved ones or trusted friends, family, whatever you want to do.
That's it's very unique what you guys are doing, and I've done one of these interviews before with somebody else, kind of in the securities, but they're a little bit different than you guys. A Shield Coin, they're actually going to be on the panel tonight with Unite DeFi, where I'm the guest influencer. But what you guys have is completely unique from them, so it's definitely distinguishing yourselves for sure.
And that's great for both projects to like exist in their own ecosystems and stuff too, but we're also not afraid of any sort of competition in the market, because we are well aware that this is such a big problem to tackle. Like, as I said at the top of the call, a $14 billion problem today. This is going to continue to grow. Yeah. There's so much room for people to have, competing products that coexist. And at the end of the day, as long as the consumer or the user or the holder is getting a good product and having their needs met, it doesn't really matter what company is doing that. And if anything, healthy competition allows everybody to have more access to better and well-rounded and more thought out products that in the end will serve the consumer. So, it's all gravy, baby.
That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Now, let me ask you, as far as your tokenomics go, I'm looking at some of the options right here. Now, off of your revenues that are generated from your D app, is there any type of reflection or kickback to the community, or is it strictly a like buyback and burn mechanism?
Right now, it's a buyback and burn, but we actually do have something interesting that's not on our website, but it is an affiliate partnership program. I'm not sure if I had sent you over the PDF for this yet. I think I might have talked to you about it when we initially leaked up a couple weeks ago, but the idea is that Serenity Shield is interested in partnering with like-minded communities, projects, or influencers that are put like security and transparency in the DeFi phase at the top of all their core list of values and what they do. Our goal is really to build out a heavily vetted network of affiliates that have a revenue share to generate capital for both Serenity Shield and their projects. So the way that it would work is, and I can share this with you, if you want it afterwards, but it's based on the amount of referrals that come in, get a percentage of the Strongbox setup fees as a one-time payment. So right now our setup fees are $10. So if you fell in the referral tier of 10% referral fee, returned to you as a revenue share, you get $5 for every box that opens. So if you get 100,000 boxes, that's $500,000 right off the top. And then we have a $1.99 or $1.99 USD maintenance fee, or keeps the account open fee, that's per month, and we wanted to keep that really low so that our service is approachable by everybody. But what it does is it creates revenue in perpetuity for our partners, and we hope to eventually scale this out to NFTs so that we can be partnered with popular NFT artists and create an actual royalty NFT, right? So like NFTs on OpenSea, they're great because you can set a royalty of 5-10%, but you only get paid that when that NFT sells. What happens if the market is stagnant, or your NFT isn't moving so much, or whatever? It's a cool idea, but it kind of is limited to the way the market moves. But what we wanted to do is set it up that if Serenity Shield partners with an NFT artist and the NFT is sold with a Strongbox account associated with it, then the token value, or the token ID, can be redeemed on serenityshield.io through our DApp to open up your Strongbox, because it's already built in. So basically selling NFTs with security protocol baked in. And when the person maintains their Strongbox through that referral code, whoever we partnered with as the NFT artist would receive a true royalty in perpetuity. If that box is open for 15 years, they get a cut of those $2 a month. If they sell 1,000 NFTs that do the same thing, you can see how it scales.
Wow.
So that's another way we want to create revenue, not only for us, but for people that are actually promoting transparency and security in the DeFi space.
That's really exciting. I actually, I can't talk about it now, but I got something I'm working on that's going to be announced tonight, and I've been dying to freaking tell everybody, but I gotta wait till tonight to drop it. But it's kind of in that space as well. I'll talk to you private about it after this, but
Sure.
yeah, I dig exactly what you're saying. That's awesome. It's just a brilliant idea that you guys have to just a huge problem. And I want to ask you guys, because I'm sure you've come across some things now. What's something that's kind of happened so far in the process that was kind of unexpected that you may not have necessarily planned for that's kind of like, popped up? What would you say would be like the hardest thing you guys have encountered so far that you couldn't have really planned for?
I would actually. It's a good question, and look, I think it's clear as day that when you're starting anything new and you're working towards a new concept, you're going to be coming across hurdles along the way. One of the things that sort of caught me certainly by storm, and I'm assuming Justin will probably have a slightly different response, is the level of interest that has been shown in our project already by really well respected brands and well-known projects. Now, you only have to look at some of the partnerships that we've managed to strike already. One of the big ones, we've actually had institutional backing from Lyris Capital Group, who are a logistics and construction firm turning over 50 million euros in Belgium and France and Europe. We have an official partnership struck with FinTech Belgium. And more recently, we finalised a contract with Market Across, who are the world's leading blockchain and PR marketing firm. I actually had a call with those guys today about how we now move forward with preparing our content, how we're going to get our brand across the space, and how we move forward now to prepare our digital footprint and create our brand awareness, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, in the space. And really, it has genuinely caught me by surprise, to answer your question, Mike, just how receptive people have been to the Serenity Shield project. Because when you really think about it, when you come to any market with a concept or a project, you're trying to cut through so much noise. You're trying to hold your hand up and scream at the top of your voice, look at us, guys, we're worth listening to. It's us you should be looking at. And everyone's doing that at the same time. That's difficult. But because of the guys on our team, some of the more senior members, some of the network contacts that we've been able to work on some really, really big partnership deals already. Now, there's one that I can't divulge tonight that was arranged today, but let me rest assured, it is one you would know. It is a big name in the crypto space, and you will be hearing about it probably within the next 7 to 8 days. We will be announcing it officially. So that's a testament to some of the hard work that we've been putting in already, and it really has taken me personally by surprise just how receptive people have been and willing to listen. So I think we must be doing something right. But I don't know, Justin, have you got anything yourself on your side that's kind of surprised you about the way the process has been so far?
To be honest, it is actually just the Solana chain, because for me, this is the first project that I'm going to be involved in Solana. I've had Bitcoin, Ethereum, and countless BSC projects, as I'm sure all of us have had in the past. But then when Nikos asked me to join Serenity Shield and told me it was on Solana, I was like, so what? What is Solana, right? So DYOR, I jumped into it, and it's just a really fast, really cheap blockchain that makes sense to build on the mechanics and the infrastructure of. But what we're finding is, even with this whitelist, we did a whitelist early access 60 slots to our Telegram followers 3 or 4 days ago. And I've received more DMs than I thought I would receive for people asking me, what is Solana? Can I use it with Trust Wallet?
Yeah, I'm one of them. I asked you the same thing.
I know. Everybody, and it's not even like I admitted right at the top. Like, for me, it was new too. So the thing that surprised me the most with the process was, because, like I had said earlier, I hadn't really jumped into. I've been in crypto since 2017 in some capacity, but I hadn't really been like in it, and especially not in the social media side of any of this, or any like Telegram or whatever. I just jumped into that in like October. So integrating with communities and hearing what people's like issues are and gripes and stuff, there's a real lack of education across the board, not just with security, not just with like how to protect yourself or how to stay away from scammers and whatever, but just things about that, like blockchain is blockchain no matter what the chain is. And all the wallets that are out right now, like so I have Phantom Wallet right now on iOS is what I have my Solana chain on. It's basically a purple trust wallet, right? But it's like you just have to experience that and then be able to tell it to someone that in that way, and then like, oh, I get it. Okay. Oh, okay. So USDC is like BUSD, or Solana is like BNB. It's like,
Got it.
yes, you know what I mean? It's so
Yep.
that's, for me, that's definitely been the challenge. Not necessarily the challenge, but the surprise. But then I just look at it as an opportunity to educate, right? Like if one person has that question, thousands have that question. So how does Serenity Shield attack that and, educate people in a way?
Justin, look, we're no strangers to the crypto space, and we know that people are getting tired of some of the other blockchains and some of the other networks that are out there. And I've been a big fan of Solana for a while. I've been using it for a longer time than probably most. And I've been shouting about it for so long, and it's been hard to get buy-in. And I was delighted when we opted and chose to build on the Solana network. And I assure you, Mike, when you come over and start using Solana and you make Serge your first hold in the Solana network, you'll understand between the low gas fees. I mean, we're not talking just low; they're negligible in many ways. They're just non-existent almost, and the high speed. The transaction speed is unparalleled when you look at it, especially when you compare it to more conventional networks like the smart chain space that most people are familiar with.
Right.
So
yeah.
for me,
it seems like everything. That's why your project's a breath of fresh air, because it seems like every project that's being released right now is on the Binance Smart Chain. That seems to be like the new trendy one. But, there's a lot of issues on that. There's a lot of rug pulls. There's a lot of scam projects. Do you find that projects that are released on the Solana blockchain are... I'm not saying that there probably aren't any issues, but would you say that you hear less of those type of issues?
I wouldn't think it would be fair to say that they don't exist, but they exist at a lesser extent. And I'll probably tell you why. You see, here's the reality why most people build on the smart chain space: volume. It comes down to buyer volume. They go for the quick buck. They go for the quick hit. And they try and drive volume into their chart and try and drive interest into the project. From day one, we have said organic growth, slow growth, pure value for the customer, and giving back something ethical to the space. That is what we're all about. Trust, loyalty, strength. That's what our brand, The Lotus, is all about. That is why we built on Solana. We are not interested in a fast rise, pump dump token that people have been traditionally associating with new launches. As I said at the start of this call, at the top of the call, Mike, we set out from day one with a business mindset, not a crypto mindset. It just so happens to be that we're operating within the crypto space. We're taking the conventional business world and bringing it to the non-conventional world because we see the future in cryptocurrency. We see that people will start coming to cryptocurrency. 300 million wallets currently globally open, set to be 1 billion in some projections by 2025. We are only going after a small fraction of that market. I don't need to tell you the numbers to realize that the revenue stream potential from this business is huge. That can benefit our investors, it can benefit the space, and if we can be the champions for security and people that they can trust, then Serenity's got a really bright future, and that's where we see the future for cryptocurrency.
That's awesome. I got a follow-up question for you here, unrelated, Nikos, and I want you to answer me honestly with this one. Of course. Do you enjoy eating haggis?
You wouldn't believe this. This is so. Yesterday, I told you I was away for a couple of days. I'll tell you right now, I've not eaten it for years, and my fiance got a full breakfast at the hotel, and she says to the waitress, "Can you do it without the haggis?" And I says, "No, please go to just leave the haggis. I wanted to have some." So yesterday morning, for the first time in probably about 4 or 5 years, I had a little bit of haggis at breakfast. I can't believe you asked that. That's incredible. True story.
Well, I had to, because I told you a little bit about my buddy John from Green Life Energy. I asked this question to a lot of my guests. What would you choose as your last meal? And he chose haggis as his last meal, and it was rather disturbing, I got to tell you. But he went into graphic detail about it, too. He didn't just say haggis. He went into all kinds of graphic detail. So I'll ask both of you, what would you guys choose as your last meal? I'm a big foodie. I'm from Philadelphia. We love food. I want to hear what you guys like.
All right. Okay, cool. So I became a partial vegan 5 years ago when I moved in with my wife. And so I haven't had anything of flavor or substance in about that time. But no, I kid. You learn to love tofu and vegetables. That's great. But what I really used to love so much was just straight up boiled hot dogs on a white roll with some mustard, just all day. Like when it comes, you get it like a ball game or something, and it comes wrapped up in the foil, and it's kind of wet and sticky, and you don't even know if it's really food. And I mean, it's a hot dog, so it's barely food. You just slide that baby in.
Oh my God, I got a story about wrapped up hot dogs for you. I never thought I would actually tell this story, but since you mentioned it like that at the ball game, so I'm from Philadelphia, and we're they shoot hot dogs out of a cannon in Philadelphia at you. And so this is a true story. My wife's from Florida. She moved up to Pennsylvania to Philly with me while she was pregnant. So I said, you know what? We're going to go to our first, your first Phillies game, your first baseball game. So we get into the stadium. It's, during the batting practice. And all of a sudden they start ushering everybody out of the stadium. They're like, come on, we got to get out of there. We got to get out of there. So apparently, I don't know. Nico's probably wouldn't know who he is, because it's just an American thing. But do you know who the Philly Fanatic is, Justin? He's probably like the most well-known mascot. Yes. So he shoots these hot dogs that are wrapped in aluminum foil out of an air cannon, and apparently he left a whole bunch of them like in a corner before the game started. So somebody reported it as a suspicious package, so they called a bomb squad in.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we're all evacuated out of the stadium while the bomb squad blows up a bunch of hot dogs in the stadium before we're allowed back in. I don't know why I'm telling that story, but it just reminded me of it when you said hot dogs wrapped in foil at a ball game. That's just right where my mind went.
I love that story. A buddy of mine, TJ, he's really, really good friend, known him for about 15 years, also shares an affinity for hot dogs. So I'm going to share your hot dog story with him. He'll get a kick out of it.
Yeah, you should, because they have Dollar Dog Night like 10 times a year, and you go down there and you get 10 hot dogs for $10. I mean, you just stuff your face with as many hot dogs as you can on Dollar Dog Night. I've been there with buddies have eaten 15, 20 of them. Just craziness.
Oh, look, when Serenity Shield takes off, I'm coming to Philly and taking you to Dollar Dog Night. We're going to just eat till we puke.
That would be so much fun. That would be a dream.
Good.
That is awesome. So what about you, Nikos? What would your meal be now?
Well, I'm definitely all carnivore. Unlike Justin, I'm not partial vegan. I'm full carnivore. So it would definitely involve some meat substance. So my family are actually from Greece, hence the name Nikos. Despite the Scottish accent, I've got the Greek name. But I ask this question religiously to people, Mike. It's one of my favourite questions to ask. Like you, I've actually got a small food blog as well. I grow a lot of my own food and cook as well. So it would be something Greek, and it would either be roast pork. If that's not I was going to say it was something Greek, which would be the roast lamb dish on the spit, categorically my favourite thing in the world to eat, or pork belly roasted to the crisp. One of the two. It just gives me immediate endorphin release. I'm a happy man when I get my fatty meat fill.
I went through a period of time where I just moved I was living in Florida the last 10, 15 years, but I just moved up to the Carolinas, and we used to have this Greek restaurant down near me in Florida, and every Wednesday night they would have buy one, get one free gyros. And these things were just enormous. They had to weigh a pound a piece. I got to the point where I was eating them both in one night. Just stuff in my food. They were just so delicious. You just want to keep eating them. And if you love, lamb and gyros like that, you know what I mean. When you get a good one, you just want to keep eating.
It's the combination of the meat and the bread. The bread you cannot find anywhere else. They've got this really unique bread.
I'd find myself laying on the couch at midnight.
I was also
Go ahead.
I think there was a slight delay there. Sorry, Mike. When we were
That's
talking.
okay.
Yeah, no, I was also going to say I'm also a big seafood fan as well. But the seafood we have in Scotland's fantastic. I was actually getting to try some oysters as well yesterday because I was up in a place called Oban, which is famous for its seafood. So it probably wouldn't be my final meal, but it is kind of one of my favourite seafoods up there as well.
Oh, that sounds so good, man. I am just craving a gyro right now. Unfortunately, I have high cholesterol right now, so I'm on this low-fat diet, and I'm like you, Justin. I'm eating just light, and it's terrible. Because at heart, I'm like you, Nikos. I'm a carnivore. I just want to eat meat. I actually got to eat red meat tonight for the first time in a while. So I had some burgers. That was actually a treat.
There you go.
But yeah, those gyros, man, they're deadly. I'd find myself eating 2 of them at night and just laying on the couch at midnight, just with my stomach as big as can be, with lamb meat strewn all over my chest, just feeling ashamed.
Now I know now we know where the name Dirty Mike comes from, Justin.
Yes, it is definitely part of the. That is definitely part of it. Yeah, this interview really shifted quick. As soon as I get on the food, it's just a whole nother category for sure.
Hey, it's great because we're all just people, right?
We are.
At the end of the day,
exactly.
We're in this weird space together, but we're networking as actual humans and connecting. So
I know. You guys have told like so much high level information. I'm like, man, we gotta break it up and have a little fun in here too. We like to have fun here too, and get to really know the team as well. I'm gonna open it up for some questions if that's cool with you guys. I see EJ. I see EJ hanging in the chat right now. EJ, you got any questions? You want to unmute yourself?
Well, maybe you would call me out.
I am. I see you lurking. I'm going to have you on.
Yeah, no, I like what you guys are saying. Honestly, I'm not as familiar with other blockchains, and I'm always kind of intrigued to hear other people's perspectives on them. But this is something that I think I will personally actually be going in and researching. Obviously, do your own research, but I like what you guys are saying. I like your personalities, and I need to delve into other blockchains a little bit. And the transparency that you guys are already showing, I don't really have as many questions, but I do want to just acknowledge that I like what you guys are saying as far as the team dynamic, being straightforward with just like Mike's questions, and all around the character and personality of what, you have to take into consideration tokenomics and contracts and projects and the whole aspect. But a big thing out of the gate for me is just the rapport and the solid foundation that you can tell, I think that you can sense quite often from a team. And I love what I'm hearing from your guys is just conversations, the carefree nature that you kind of have with being interviewed. That's going to go a long way. And it's not always something that you initially get into and you think, okay, I'm going to have to be this PR person or kind of a face or of a project. But from the conversations you guys are already having with influencers and being able to answer questions, you guys are doing it right. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that. But yeah, I didn't have any questions other. I'm trying to actually, we have a crypto cup with nobility this evening, and we entered a team that's playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare on Discord, and I'm helping these 2 guys get it set up, and I don't even play video games. So, but thank you for your time. And obviously, I have you on in the background. You're kind of my easy listening music as I'm helping these guys. But
nice.
Definitely want to chat with you more often for sure.
EJ, honestly, really, I think what a lovely statement and kind words. Look, from our point of view, Justin and I are very close, as are the rest of the team. We're very helpful with each other. There's a lot of humility in the team. We are building something that's important to us, not just for just not to make a name for ourselves in the crypto space, to truly actually have a product, something we can hold our heads up high and be proud of. That's what it does come down to. And for us, from day one, with the people that we have around us in the team, we said that the reason this project came to light, and that's actually a good point, good time to talk about this. Myself and one of the founders, probably as long ago back as 6 or 7 months ago, really started talking about the mess of the crypto space generally, and the fact that people struggle to trust. And we know ourselves, so we can trust ourselves, but we know that it's difficult for others to trust us because we've seen what they go through elsewhere. And ever since we started on that path in building Serenity Shield, that was one thing that we categorically all agreed on, that we have to be as transparent as possible. If we don't know an answer to something, we hold our hands up and say, we'll find out, guys. If we come across people that maybe have better knowledge than us, listen to them. Don't push people away. It's very important. So I'm glad that comes across, because it truly is at the forefront of what we do, and it's very important that people pick up on that. So thank you. Really appreciate your words.
I want to add one other part to that, and why I say I'm encouraged by just your conversation and the humility in your voice, because Chris is a good friend of mine, and he manages another token, but he's part of our team, and we were having a conversation that, you constantly go through adversity being in one of these dev positions. And somebody was asking us in an AMA the other night, they're like, so what is the price of Everreflect, or what does the price of MetaBUSD have to reach where you guys will just kind of give up? And we're like, well, it wouldn't matter. It literally could hit zero, and we will not give up, because of the fact that we see a bigger vision of what, in his case is a lot of VR stuff, for ours is NFT tickets. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're always focused on price and charts and not what you can build and the creative brilliance behind it, you get distracted. And so I hear that in your guys' voice, where it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, we're doing this.
Life would be a very boring world. It would be a very boring place if we all set out to do things purely for money. So, Look, none of us get up in the morning to do this because of the money, and that's not our driving factor. You're absolutely correct. The points you raise, I think you can see how proud we are already of this brand. I mean, everything we put into that is our heart and soul. And I'm glad that that's showing so early, EJ. So please do stay in touch. Please come and visit our community. If you've got any questions and you want to hear my dulcet tones some more, I'll open up the VC occasionally, and you can put me on the background, and I'll let you hear my somber tones.
Hey, done. Well, I'm encouraged by you guys, so thank you for being here. I'll make sure that we stay in touch for sure.
We should start an all crypto band named the Reflections.
Hey, not bad.
I absolutely love it.
Mike, you already know. I
love it.
That's great.
No, you guys are great. You guys are great. We're definitely going to have you guys back on the channel regularly. We're definitely having a great time. Anybody else have any questions out there?
We've actually got one of our other team members. Why don't we let him come up and say hi?
Yeah, who do we got here?
Michael.
Unmute yourself, Michael. Join us.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
I've joined late, so I think I've missed most of the content. I was held up elsewhere, but it seems like it went well.
Yeah, it's gotten pretty wild the last 15, 20 minutes, but that's how we like it.
Listen, mate, I don't doubt it. With Nikos and Justin here, it can get wild.
Let me just tell you, Michael, they were just saying that this is the greatest project that the world's ever seen, and they're going to tell everyone just how fantastic we are.
That's exactly
fantastic. Right. That's the seventh time we've heard that today alone. Would you believe?
I love it.
Mike, do you want to introduce yourself just so they know, what you do for Search and where you come from?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I got into crypto about 18 months ago during COVID here, lockdown in Ireland, and was looking to kind of get involved more in a project on an actual team basis. Met Nikos through a different investing group, and ended up here in Serenity. My 9-to-5 job, I am a business development executive. I sell economic research to banks, so it doesn't exactly light the world on fire. But with Serenity, I've kind of taken that skill set, and I look towards strategic and commercial partnerships. So sometimes a little bit out of the box thinking, sometimes just capital raising, hedge funds, etc. So that's kind of where I'm at the minute. Yeah, we don't rule anything out. We look to explore all kind of options, and see if there's mutually beneficial relationships there across different projects and avenues.
That's awesome. Well, we're glad to meet you and have you on board. You guys have an awesome team. From meeting you three. How big is your team?
I think
Yeah,
I was going to say, I think the live number, they were probably up to near 20 now, guys. Would that be fair assessment?
Yeah, I think so.
But we've got new devs joining actually just this week that are being onboarded, so that's going up. Not different, additional. So because of where we're headed.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
That's quite an international team as well, which is great in the space. Really have all continents and countries covered.
Yeah, so that's a good point. Actually, Michael, we've got a real, we've got a big emphasis now on international space, Mike, as well. So we do have a Spanish team. We have some of our dev team in Argentina. We have guys coming in from other parts of the world. We won't share where they're from yet, just until we finalise their contracts. But we're going to be targeting some of the lesser known countries in crypto space, believe it or not, because we see some business opportunities. As I say, you'll hear us use that term quite often, because we see this as a revenue generating business model first, with the crypto space facilitating what we're trying to do. So yeah, I'm personally looking forward to coming back here, Mike, and being able to share a little bit more about you once we sign a couple of these contracts and finalise the details, and then we can actually share with confidence. I don't want, what it's like for confidentiality reasons and non-disclosure agreements that we've got in place at the moment, unfortunately.
I know I'm holding on to a massive secret right now that I can't share till tonight, and it's killing me. So I know exactly how you feel. Well, you guys are always welcome on the channel, and when you get closer to launch, or even before then, you guys want to come on for another one, or just talk. Occasionally I'll open it up with a couple groups. I'm going to start doing a couple different tokens, maybe on a weeknight, and just shooting the shit, just talking, just like this. It doesn't have to be necessarily a really structured format, but just a place where we can all kind of talk and get some information out to people. You guys are always welcome back on the channel for sure.
Thanks, Mike. That's huge. And yeah, more unstructured talks, just about even talking shop, project to project and chain to chain, just to help everybody expand on their, toolbox, really, like and spread education. So that'd be great.
Absolutely, guys. Well, I always recommend, my followers and group always do your own research on projects, but definitely make Serenity Shield something you do your research on, because they have a great foundation and a great team. And I wish you guys the best, and I look forward to talking to you guys again shortly.
Legend, Mike. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. You guys are in my private chat now, so feel free to pop in anytime you want and talk with us. Okay, guys?
You got it. You got it. Thanks, everyone.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Take care now.
Bye.
Bye.